Hello, McOne Thiensville 4th grade students. I'm here today to talk to you about at-home expectations and strategies for taking a test or quiz. We're going to start out and go through ways that you can take a test or a quiz at home and be successful. The first thing we're going to discuss is the materials you will need to have prepared and ready to go to take your assessment at home. Make sure when you're ready to take your test that you have materials ready. Some things that you're going to want to keep handy are a pencil, an eraser, and maybe even a highlighter so you can go through and highlight key words in your directions or things you want to remember when it comes to answering a question. For some tests, it might even be helpful to have an extra piece of paper to do work on or to draw models. When we say extra paper, we don't mean toilet paper. You're going to want to have an extra piece of lined paper or a scrap piece of paper to show your work on. With teacher permission, you may also have a study guide or notes out or even past work to review and help you be successful on your assessment. The next thing we're going to discuss is your workspace. Are you settled down in a space where you can focus? Are you in a space that is quiet? Make sure that there's nothing noisy or disruptive around you that can keep you from doing your best. Is there anything in this space that could distract you? Take a look at this picture here. There's a ton of things that can distract you. It's important to make sure your space is clear. Are you comfortable? Are you seated in a place where you can focus and get your work done well for the next 30 minutes or so? Are you hungry or do you need a glass of water before you get started? Make sure you address all those problems and get into a spot where you can sit and work for a long period of time. And can you easily write on the work where you are? Might not be the best to do your work on carpeting or something that's not a hard surface. If we look at this workspace here, that is not something that I would approve. Take a look at this workspace. It's clear, all the materials are out, there's a hard surface, and there's nothing to be distracting in that area. I approve this space. The final thing we're going to discuss for taking a test at home are your expectations. What are those expectations for testing at home? Just like at school, this assessment needs to be done independently. Your teachers want to see what you know and what you can do all on your own. It is okay to ask for a teacher or a parent for help if you do not understand the directions. It's okay to ask someone to read them to you or maybe rephrase them in a way that makes more sense to you. Before you submit your work, make sure you also review and ensure that all questions have been answered and that you have completed all parts of those questions. Remember, taking a test is part of being in and climbing out of that learning pit. There will be opportunities for you to climb out of the pit while you're testing, and there may be moments where you're confused. Make sure you persevere and do your best. Once the test is graded, you will have an opportunity to make corrections and review your work with your teacher. Now that we've reviewed the expectations, it's time for you to take your test. Go on and show us what you know.